The MAGA movement is mad at President Trump. National parks have a wildfire problem. And there are 2 new champions at Wimbledon. That's some of what we'll get to on the 7 from the Washington Post. I'm Hannah Jewell. It's Monday, July 14th. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. Number 1. MAGA leaders are lashing out at President Donald Trump over Jeffrey Epstein. This weekend, some of Trump's most devout young supporters gathered for a Turning Point USA summit. But a cloud hung over the convention center in Tampa. Attendees booed the Trump administration's handling of files related to the sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. He died in prison in 2019. Here's conservative podcaster Megyn Kelly talking to Turning Point USA's executive director, Charlie Kirk.
Let me just ask you, make some noise if you care about the Jeffrey Epstein scandal.
Raise your hand if it matters a lot to you. Raise your hand. So every hand of 7,000 people.
Everybody cares.
Before Trump returned to office, he and his advisors promoted conspiracy theories surrounding Epstein. But now, Trump's Attorney General Pam Bondi has declined to release more on the investigation into Epstein and his potential associates. And Trump has essentially told his supporters to get over it. That has fueled a lot of anger among his base, especially his younger supporters. Some prominent conservatives fear the rupture could do lasting damage to Trump's coalition and threaten the Republican Party in the midterm elections next year.
Stay outside, man.
ICE plans to deport immigrants to countries other than their own. That's number 2. The Post has obtained a memo written last week by the acting director of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. It signals a dramatic shift in policy. According to the memo, immigration officers could immediately start deporting immigrants to countries other than their own with as little as 6 hours' notice. The deportations could go ahead even if officials have not provided any assurances that the deportees will be safe from persecution or torture. The U.S. has rarely deported people to countries where they are not citizens. Lawyers warned that thousands of immigrants with work permits and families in the U.S. could now be uprooted and sent to places where they lack family ties or even a common language. Number 3. An Israeli strike killed children who were collecting water in Gaza. It was a devastating scene in central Gaza yesterday. Children were lining up to fill containers at a water collection point when they were hit by an Israeli airstrike. Local health officials said 10 people were killed and that most of the dead were children. The Israeli military said that the strike was the result of a technical error. It said a munition had fallen dozens of meters away from its intended target. Meanwhile, in the West Bank, a 20-year-old Palestinian American from Florida was killed on Friday. His family and local officials said he was beaten to death by Israeli settlers. Israel said it was looking into reports of a death.
You tell me why you need to come inside.
Number 4. Heavy rainfall forced a halt to search efforts in central Texas. This weekend, rain caused more significant flooding in Texas. That prompted officials to suspend the search for victims of this month's deadly floods. The confirmed death toll from those floods stands at 129 people. 27 of those deaths were at Camp Mystic. According to FEMA records, the campground gained approval from federal regulators in 2013 to exempt some of its buildings from a flood zone designation. The move meant the camp was no longer required to buy flood insurance for certain structures. That's despite the camp being located in a high-risk flood area in Texas Hill Country. Scrutiny is growing over whether federal authorities and Kerr County officials adequately warned residents ahead of the devastating floods.
That's the word I say.
Wildfires are threatening to undo air quality improvements at national parks. That's our fifth story. Air pollution from cars and industrial activity has gradually declined in the U.S. over the past few decades because of air quality protections. But more frequent wildfires are pushing haze levels back up, and that's clouding the views at some of the country's most famous parks. In California, for example, parks such as Yosemite, Sequoia, and Kings Canyon are situated downwind from the state's largest cities, busy highways, and industrial-scale agriculture. From July to October, wildfires add to the problem, bringing brief but intense spikes in pollution. Smoke from large fires can cause yellow haze thousands of miles away. Today, the Post published a tool that lets you look up how air quality has changed in your favorite national park. You can find it in our newsletter. Number 6 is for tennis fans like me. Italy's Yannick Sinner won his first Wimbledon title. Yesterday, Sinner faced off against Carlos Alcaraz of Spain. It was a showdown between the top 2 men's tennis players in the world, and it was a rematch of their grueling French Open final last month. That's when Sinner led Alcaraz by 2 sets and 3 championship points, but lost the trophy anyway. This time, things went the Italians' way. Sinner defeated Alcaraz, who had won back-to-back Wimbledon titles in 4 sets. On the women's side of the draw, Poland's Iga Świątek didn't just beat Amanda Anisimova on Saturday, she shut her out completely, not letting the American win a single game. It was frankly a little hard to watch, but Anisimova is only 23 years old, so she has a lot of time to make this weekend a distant blip in her career. And at number 7, a science museum discovered dinosaur bones under its own parking lot. Workers were drilling test holes for a geothermal energy project at the Denver Museum of Nature and Science in January when they made an amazing find. One rock they had pulled up looked different from the rest. It was pale, spongy, and brittle. Researchers quickly realized they had found dinosaur bones. The fossilized vertebrae is more than 67 million years old. Researchers think it belonged to a plant-eating dino, but they're not sure what species. This is not the first time that construction sites in Denver have revealed prehistoric treasures, but scientists say these are the oldest and deepest dinosaur bones ever found within the city limits. So if you're commuting in Denver today, add a little excitement to your drive by imagining all the dinosaurs that could be lurking beneath you. All right, you're all caught up. It's a brand new week, and you should make this the week that you become a Washington Post subscriber at last. We actually have a great sale right now. You can get a core subscription for just $29 for your first year. That gives you unlimited access to all the stories I talk about here on the podcast and a lot more. Just mosey on over to WashingtonPost.com/subscribe. I'm Hannah Jewell. I'll meet you back here tomorrow.